here all the time on this program. It is the economy today. And this time we come, we try to do the best within our reach to ensure that that very best that will come to you on what matters concerning the economy will come your way. And so this day is not going to be an exception. It will still be the same thing. And you will share with us. Okechukwu Onubogu here, saying thank you again for coming on. Now we have things to do this day. Normally we've got our effects to talk about, and we've got some of our news bits to share with you, after which I would bring in my guests on the program this day. And in actual fact, today's edition is somewhat special because we'll be talking about something that is important really too. It all has to do with the economy, but then it's important. It will help us a whole lot. Talking about these days, we're here about cyber security and all those things. You know, we've had such a discussion on this program before, but today we'll do a much more serious one, and we'll share about a group that is known as ISACA. I'll tell you more about it, but for now, let's get straight to looking at the FX first of all, and then the NGX rather, and then afterwards we take our news beats. Welcome again. And so the Nigeria Stock Exchange, we have generally a lot that has happened, and we still have a whole lot more to happen from this day. Yesterday was a public holiday, so when you share things now, you share what happened 2 days ahead, and what will come up later today you'll see also. And so I wouldn't dwell much on these basic things that you will see this day, but we need to let you know that there are things that are happening in there. The volume for what we had happens to be 11.2 million, and we also have a market capital that got to be 16 trillion, and 248 million was also the value traded. And when we talk about all shares index, 98,475. Well, the percentage is 10%. As almost every time, we get to have 10% increase in the stock for the day. And so it has happened again. And we believe that maybe what we'll see this day may be a little different, but it normally has been going between 8, 9, and 10%. Well, let's see what will happen later. Now let's look at the details rather. Let's look and see more. The top gainers, WAPIC gained 10%, RT Briscoe gained 10%. Triple C gained 9.91%, and FTN Cocoa gained 9.89%. So the gain has also come normal, but the fact is that these four overtook the others. Among about 22 gainers, these four had the highest. That's why we have them on it today. Let's see that there are people, as always, when you have the gainers, you also have the decliners or losers. Anyone you call it is still the same. And KAFTAN, Prestige, Guinea Insurance, and Universal Insurance are the ones that are the decliners. Well, I could say where are the decliners, but we still maintain that they are until the end of trading today. Then we'll find out whether they will remain or they would have moved over. Well, that's just the way it is for now, because when we look at all of them, we've seen it. But then for all the trades that we had, the people that traded most are UBA, Regal Insurance, and Veritas. And Veritas Cap. And incidentally, UBA put in 56 million, while Regal Insurance put in 84 million, and Veritas put in 73 million. And so there is more trading that's going on this day. And at the end of it, we'll check what that will be, comparing what we have had this day, like at a time like this. Then in the oil market, the WTI crude West Texas Intermediate has $71.89 per barrel. And of course, there is a gain, an improvement of 2.66%. Brent crude is $75.38 per barrel. That is $75.38, and they have 2.47% gain, while Bonny Light is at $78 per barrel. And comparing the fact that it had been on earlier, that it was 80 and later 79, that's why you can see that even at that price, at that cost, it is still declining. And the decline, we hope, will get better, that it will return. That one is our own. That is Nigeria's own oil. Oh, well, we'll see continue. We'll share a whole lot more. But before we go on with the others, I think the right thing to do now is to beckon on Divine Okechukwu to give us what we'll have today as our news bits before anything else. Let's take a bit of it. Thank you so much, Divine Okechukwu, for what you've done and for the work. It's a pleasure sharing this with you, that you've helped us to get a bit of all this, a hold on this. This rice matter. Well, let's keep seeing. Let's know when that rice will get to us. We're still waiting. That's just one thing. But, well, let's just let it be. And the fuel, well, all of that, we'll still talk about them. But I want to say that I have two gentlemen here with me who are from that name I mentioned earlier, ISACA, and they are here to share things about ISACA and generally about other things. And you will ask me what ISACA is, and I will tell you that is the Information System Audit and Control Association. Information System Audit and Control Association, ISACA. You know, people will be tempted to say ISACA, but then that is the name that is in the Bible. And that one is not the same spelling with this. So let that temptation be held. It is ISACA. And so here I have the president, that is the Abuja chapter president of ISACA, talking about Emmanuel Omoke. Good to have you here, sir.
Thank you for having us here, sir.
All right. And closer to me here is the membership director. And the membership director is Stephen Alaekwe. Is it Alaekwe rather?
Alaekwe.
Yes, Alaekwe.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much. Good to be here with you. Looking at what I've mentioned, what we just said, that is the name of the full explanation of that acronym ISACA. I want to say that I have certain basic knowledge about you from what I have with me, but you know, it may be best to hear it from the people that are mainly in it. You know, when we talk about information technology, because the topic we have today is what has to do with that. You will soon see the topic, we will soon get to have the topic, and that topic says something about information, INFOTECH, and then cyber security. I hope it's not out of place to mention such things in your presence. So now, INFOTECH and the economy, then the impact of importance of cyber security. Good. Now, I want to ask you straight away, Mr. President, Sir Emmanuel Omoke,
yes,
to tell me more about this group.
Okay. Thank you so much for having us here. Like you said, ISACA is a global association used to be for IT practitioners that are into IT controls, risk. But these days, due to the evolving nature of technology, it's being widened to accommodate everybody that lives on the digital space.
Okay.
So it's all about ensuring that our cyberspace is being secured, not just only that, and also positive realization of technology, both for individuals and for organizations. So that's what ISACA is all about. Thank you.
Okay. Looking at the fact that this gathering, this ISACA, is not a baby organization, I want to say that you had the 16th annual conference.
Yes.
And from all that we gathered, it was a huge success. And so when an organization has had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 12, and gets to 16th, in its gathering, in its annual meetings, it means that that organization should have known its bearing effectively and worked with it. And I will want to find out what are the key highlights and how are they going to help to shape the activities for cybersecurity awareness month, because you created that cybersecurity awareness month.
Okay.
Yes, how are these, what the things you have there, how can it help?
Okay. First of all, ISACA as a body is a global body. It's not 16. It's been there in existence in the days of mainframe.
Okay.
A group of guys came together to share knowledge on how they can audit their controls, put controls in their processes. So that's the formation, how ISACA came to be. But it's the Abuja chapter that is have had their 16th annual, that have been in 16 years of existence.
Yes.
Yeah, so the conference was a very big success. It was quite inspiring and impactful in the sense that the key highlight was that we'll delve into the digital trust framework, not just digital trust framework, also the new CBN risk-based cybersecurity framework that was implemented just July 1st.
Yes, from July.
We'll also look at the financial inclusion and technological access. It was more like a collaboration of private sector and public sector and everybody involved. And again, most of the highlight we also had was the Ignite Youth cohort project, where they displayed their is a program for African rising professionals.
Yes, I would. Yes, before we say that, because I will want Alaekwe to say something about that.
Okay.
But then, even before I go to him, okay, I'll return to you to give something that will be a follow up to that one.
That's no problem.
But let me hear from Alaekwe.
Okay.
What has to do with this cohort something? Cohort 2.
Okay, thank you.
Ignite Youth.
Yes, the Ignite Youth project.
Yes.
Okay, so the Ignite Youth project is a project that tried to, get a pool of youngsters who are vibrant in the space and get them into a class setting, and for them to bring out the best in them. So the Ignite Youth project, the first cohort saw the development of 2 innovative products, the privacy map and the data protection toolkit.
Okay.
All right. So these are very useful tools in today's digital space and as we traverse the internet. Okay. So, and they are very important in ensuring that we know where we are in terms of jurisdictions and countries that have developed regulations and laws around data protection. Okay. So, and second is the fact that it also provide tools for organizations to, be able to navigate the space and meet compliance requirements. In today's world, we say that data is a new currency. Data is a new oil. Okay, data is a very valuable asset. So in all that we do, our data are very critical, both as an organization, as individuals, because as we move around, as we traverse the internet, as we engage in our daily activities, our digital footprints, are all established therein. So there is every need for us to, take hold of them and ensure that we maintain, proper security around them. All right?
Okay. About 16 years ago, or even 20, they used to say that anybody that is not IT compliant is a primitive fellow. But now, you're saying something else, that data is the new oil. So that tells us that there is something rich that can come from it. I mean, for an ordinary man, he would think, is it not just to get data and use it and do what you do with your handset? Can you explain it to further?
Okay. So data is far beyond the data that we recharge. All right. So data we mean here are pieces of raw information, that you can put together and make meaning out of them.
Okay.
All right. Yes. So, and more so, let's bring it down to personal data.
Yes.
As little as name, phone number, email address, all these bits and pieces, they are valuable assets that you can make a lot out of it. Okay. So we have a lot of social media apps and solutions out there. Okay, most of them run on data. They use data to thrive.
Yes.
They use data to make money. They use data to create activities that people go there and they get value from it.
Yes.
And they pay for those things. Okay, I can imagine how much it will benefit you. You are in search of a certain pool of numbers to be able, or contact details to advertise your products to, and you have it on a platter of gold. Somebody provides that to you.
Yes.
They are valuable assets because it will take you a lot of engaging personnel, to be able to reach out to those people to advertise. And let's say where you have 1,000 list of persons, and you advertise, you pull out your products out there. 10% out of that will buy. That is cheap marketing for you. So that is just a little bit of what you can make of data. So data will mean bits and pieces of this. And to be honest, we are all there present in the digital space.
Yes.
Both physically and digitally. So as much as I'm present here, I have a digital footprint established here and there. So how secured are those footprints?
Okay.
So they are very important.
Just to add to what Steven said, that's the essence of the cybersecurity awareness month, because a lot of people will say, it's for techie people. No, in as much as you have a footprint in the digital space, the onion is on you to be informed on how you protect your personal data in that digital space. Because you see a lot of things, a lot of threats that is happening there. So that's the essence of the cybersecurity awareness month, to create awareness to people that manage sensitive data, and to also organizations that process sensitive data, so that everybody will understand what is supposed to write as a subject to that aspect.
Is there a collaboration going on now between you and the National Commissioner, Nigerian Data Protection Commission? Is there a collaboration going on between you with the Commissioner?
Yes, we as ISACA, as a body, we believe in collaboration, because to us collaboration is actually the new competition. We do have a collaboration with the National Data Protection Commissioner in the aspect of capacity building, knowledge sharing. For instance, this cohort, this Ignite project also, the Commissioner was briefed and he was committed to ensuring that the African youth, especially particularly in Nigeria, because we also have Nigerian participants there, not only having access to the technology, also the financial inclusion, because when you talk about technology access, you're also talking about laptop, power, data, even your phone that you're using, you need to power it. So he's committed to seeing that we have talent in Nigeria that are homegrown, that can also be able to design indigenous solution. In the area of that, we also have collaboration with them in the area of keeping our rising star, our undergraduates busy. Last year, early this year, we collaborated with them and some other institutions for hackathon competition, which we're also looking at how we can incubate these solutions to ensure that, you know, we don't just import, we also export, just like the Indians. Today, the Indians are good in technology.
Yes.
They are always, they are if you look at the 500 Forbes, you have most Indians being the CEO.
Yes.
So with what the federal government is doing and the collaboration we are having with the NDPC, and other government institution, we are believing that in the near future, Nigeria will also be home to, will be exporting technology experts to the globe.
Yes, and not just, even as you mentioned, the Indians, not just Indians, but even young Indians.
Yes,
I hope our young people are being carried along effectively.
Of course. If you look at the solution that they designed, you know, there's one particular solution during the hackathon competition that has to do with personal data. If you know how we do our election here, in the morning of the election, when you go to vote, you'll see your name pasted in the, you know, there's some sensitive information that has to do with there. Yes. So if I want to know your blood group, if I want to know your address or your date of birth, these are my personal data that I don't need to make available there. So it's just for me to know where you're voting. So that morning I will just go and take a picture. You can imagine the number of data I have already harnessed. So they did a solution that will tackle that particular challenges. So you can imagine, if it's just the media edition and we have people, young children, undergraduate for that matter, designing such. You can imagine when we keep more like encouraging them, incubating those solutions. I mean, we don't need to spend foreign exchange on that.
So Stephen, let's hear more about it.
Yes, so talking about collaboration, just like our president has said, you know, collaboration is the new competition. But looking at what we have had, the kind of relationship we have had with the Nigerian Data Protection Commission is such that we believe in building from the scratch and having homegrown solutions, you know, and that has been the disposition of the National Commission, you know, trying to see that, you know, there are homegrown solutions that are built and developed from here. All right. So, and looking at that also, you know, the hackathon actually saw a number of young professionals, young stars, you know, some undergraduates, all right, most of whom are not even IT students. Most of which come from different backgrounds, medical students, sociology, you know, so they all came together. One thing that we must take is the fact that they work as a team. So that collaborative spirit is encouraged at that space, and they were able to think outside the box, you know, to look at solutions. So first thing is identify problems and look at what can solve it. All right. So what the case in point presented in looking at the election, you know, risk and exposures, you know, to personal data. You know, you go to polling booth, you see all these names. These youngsters looked at that and looked at what can be done. And what ISACA has done is to also identify these winners and look at how best to start continue grooming them such that, you know, they will grow and that solution will just not die there. So they've been going through some mentorship and you know, some capacity development and all that. All right. So, and that solution need to be developed, and it should be such that it should provide some sort of solution to part of the problems in our election practice.
Especially because that's if you didn't mention that, that's what I wanted to say, because this is what you could refer to as the major solution to the electoral problem we have in our country. Because when this happens this way, you have projected it, and definitely it will be better as time goes on.
Exactly.
It will get to the level that, I mean, we could just, I mean, when there is election, you relax, knowing that the right thing should be done. Not letting any human being anywhere try to manipulate and telling you that one system has glitch in it, and as a result, it's not working. You know, that kind of thing. It's a good thing that you are mentioning it, because really, as the nation grows, ISACA is needed seriously to help the nation grow in the right direction. That brings me to the next thing. What you have in the awareness month, that is elevating digital security. Engage, learn, and act. Yes. Can you break it down a bit? The meaning of all these things, so as to do from what you have said, we've got a bit of it. But let's hear the more.
Okay, thank you. You know, just like we said, this is a digital cybersecurity awareness month. It's more or less an insight from our previous, our last conference. So the awareness month, ISACA Abuja chapter, just one of the chapters, one of the 4 chapters in Nigeria. We have lined up activities to make sure that people are abreast of what to get themselves well informed in cybersecurity, how they need to protect their information in the digital space. First of all, we are going to start this Saturday with Community Day. So this Community Day, we're doing something a bit different that a lot of people can also participate, which is more like exploring the cultural richness of Nigeria and the tourism heritage, you know. So we are going to do that at the Art and Craft Village, and our essence is also, we are looking at also how we can collaborate with the Minister of Art and Creativity on the ICE project. The ICE project is Innovation, Creativity and Entrepreneurship, which is to train 1 million Nigerian youths. You know, these days everything is on the digital space. Everything, practically, people don't have physical office these days. What they have is virtual office. So all you need is to have phone. Once you have phone, you can set up your office there. So with the help of, you know, logistics, I can be here and do some purchase anywhere I want in the world. So our own is to also promote Nigeria craft, promote Nigeria culture. You know, there's going to be a lot of activities, and our intention is to also use that opportunity to create awareness on cybersecurity, and also let the world, because ISACA is a global body. We have our about 180,000 members across the globe. The number is still growing. We have more than 200 and above 200 chapters. So whatever we project, the whole world is seeing it. In the previous years, we've had this community. They will have people from outside Nigeria came in, you know, and participate with us, you know, like a family, anywhere you find yourself. So we want to use that as a platform to showcase Nigeria to the world.
Okay, let me ask the membership director, what do you call it now? What participants can gain from? Okay, let me leave that one. Students Global Summit is another exciting event.
Yes,
it's another exciting event. What should young people, young professionals, students, and everyone expect in that one?
Okay, the Global Student Summit. This is actually a second edition of that summit.
Okay, you've had the first one.
Had the first
it's
one.
A yearly event.
Yes.
So what was it like?
And it's a global event wherein we look at young students. Okay, it's a student summit, you know, that gathers students around the world. Okay, to come look at topical matters, you know, around cybersecurity, information system security, audit, control, privacy, digital trust. These are students that come. So it's an opportunity for networking, you know, sitting down, listening to industry leaders, also inspire and make presentation and provide keynote addresses and mentorship opportunities for them to be able to grow in their careers. All right.
Yes.
It's a networking opportunity wherein they also can relate with students from all over the world. All right. So, and they provide ample opportunity for them to also learn from these industry leaders and also be able to be aligned to getting some kind of mentorship and facilitation from these professionals.
Okay.
All right. So so it provides that platform. All right. So the first edition was a success. This second edition also has a lot of activities put in there to be able to get them look at what are the necessary skills that they need to acquire, what are the trending areas they need to focus on, what are the problems identified, what are the possible solutions that can be solved that need to be solved, because we earn in providing solution. So we need to look at earnings from that angle of being solution providers. All right.
Yes.
So it's part of what this will provide them. So you look at challenges, look at opportunities, and look at where you play in. So, and there are ample certifications and certificates and learning opportunities for these youngsters. So ISACA provide this platform for them.
Yes,
okay, so
it is
became
that certification.
a veritable tool. So,
it is that certification that I would want to ask, why is it necessary?
Okay, so in today's world, all right, we cannot but be able to showcase what we have, what is embedded in us, what is in us. So what certifications help you do is to hone those skills, develop them to professional level where you can now use them. So there are a lot of certifications ISACA provides. So we have the information, the sister certified information system auditors.
Yes, that's the CISM.
Yes, CISA.
Okay.
Yeah,
CISM.
now CISM is certified information security managers. Okay, so you see, this talks about audit, this talks about security managers.
Yes,
okay,
yes,
so
yes.
we have the series, we have the Seagates, we have the CDPSE, we have the cyber security professional. So these are all pool of certifications that each one focuses on a certain business need or topical needs and addresses it. So you become a professional in that field, in that space, be able to provide solutions. And one good thing that ISACA does is that it doesn't just provide you with the skills and knowledge, it also enables you with toolkits with which you can practice in the ecosystem.
Okay.
Just to add to what Sir
Yes.
Stephen Alaekwe said there, so it's just like for you to be practiced as a lawyer, you normally will go to law school,
Yes,
do your bar, and same for medical. So for you to be called a professional and be known as a subject matter expert, so you need to, there's some level of certificates that you need to do that, so organizations or individual can recognize you to be a subject matter expert in that field. So that's what ISACA provides. So, and again, it's not just restricted to IT professionals alone. Even you as a broadcaster or a communicator, we have some of them in our midst too, can pick the areas, some certificates or certifications you think will aid your career progressions or that you need for your personal development, and get yourself involved.
Thank you so much. The review of the CBN risk-based cybersecurity framework, it's also scheduled for this month. Yes. So what can attendees expect from this event, and why is it really significant for the financial sector? This is economy today.
It's very important because all of us have our money in the bank.
Okay.
Nobody wants to hear that story. So and CBN, part of government efforts for us to have a robust and a resilient cyber security institution. So they come up with this framework. Well, the review is going to look at the level of implementation. That's where you have all the chief information security officer for PSBs, that's
payment
service banks and DMBs, deposit money banks,
yes.
and also stakeholders in the cybersecurity to come together, look at this framework, review it, and see the level of implementation in the terms of compliance, because it's quite new, and kind of discuss and come up with, also we are looking at also people that wants to build career in information security. Is also an opportunity for them to, get into the profession. And again, people that already have the profession that want to upskill their knowledge or get to learn new things is also an opportunity. So at the end of the day, because it's a cybersecurity awareness month, you need to know, you need to be certain that the financial institutions that you're putting your money, if they have the requisite framework, if they've been able to put up measures in place to make sure that they have a tight and resilient cybersecurity to protect our finances. So that's the essence of the review class.
Okay, and this cybersecurity month is something that you want everybody to be aware of,
even the market woman, in the market woman, is supposed to be aware, supposed to know. There are things that she needs to know, and which you've also provided for that. So it's something it doesn't discriminate. Everybody should participate in it. That's the only way we can be the resilient digital economy.
Okay. I have learned, if nothing else, that collaboration is the new competition.
Yes.
And it's important that we hold on to that. And that also, cyber security discussions is what you can, as one, is what you can refer to as the new oil.
Yes, the new currency.
The new currency.
Data is the new currency.
Data rather is the new currency. It's a good thing that we're finding these things here, because when we look at the economy, you find out that most of the time you want to get to have data concerning the economy. If you don't have it effectively gathered by a group, it may be difficult for even the what do you call us now? The mass communication sector to effectively disseminate that information. So it's a good thing that you're here helping us to understand more of this and how we'll get it across to the world. But I want to look at two things before we start rounding up. The first is security. So you see, this cyber security is also very important, that for those who are security personnel, like the police in particular, and all such organizations, they are also part of what we're doing today, because there are things that they need to take from this to do their investigative jobs and all that. Then again, you also see that apart from that one, that monetary, if we talk about money, there is no way you will talk about either going to the deposit banks or the other one to do one business or the other without having good data concerning you that is coming in. These are the things I can say we need to take home. We'll take home from what we have had today. I don't know if you would like to add something else to this summary that I've tried to get.
Okay, yes. In fact, you got it quite aptly.
Yes,
okay, it's very important that we look at cybersecurity as an all-engaging activity that involves everybody, and that's why we say you need to be engaged in the activity, participate.
Okay.
All right.
You need to engage. You need to be engaged in the activity.
You need to learn.
You need to learn.
You need to learn, and then you need to act.
We'll still talk about you getting to be engaged, learning, and acting after this break. Just a minute. And that's a beautiful bit of what we've just talked about, that we saw some of the things that had happened, some of the things that had happened before now. And having been given this kind of knowledge of what had happened, that could show you that greater things are ahead.
I
want to say Thank you so much, Emmanuel Omoke, and the president of ISACA here in Abuja, and Stephen Alaekwe. Alaekwe is also the membership director. Let's get a bit more before we round off entirely. All these, you see, there is a way that collaboration can do a whole lot more.
Yeah.
You know, like with the EFCC and all these other organizations. Tell us a little bit about that.
I think just like we said, collaboration is the new competition. During the first media edition of our 2019 Community Day, we had a collaboration with EFCC, and that was, I think, prior to that, there was this list of scammers that was released of Nigerians, and we felt that abroad that are into unquote Yahoo. And they were like, look, the way you rehabilitate Boko Haram, these guys can actually be rehabilitated, and all those energy that they channel in community do scam can be channeled into something positive, which is what ISACA is all about, and which is what we also stand for. You know, positive realization of technology, both for individual and for organization. So this is more of not just EFCC. We'll be doing this with NIDA, with a lot of MDAs, you know, FRS, CBN, and what have you. How can we, you know, help your organization with our tools, with our framework, with our certification, you know, channel all this energy into something positive, you know, into optimizing your process, controlling the risk, you know, and I believe that's what we preach. That's what we stand for as an organization.
Okay.
Yeah.
Membership director, if someone asks you, what is ISACA in just brief, how do you explain it to him?
That's a compendium of questions. Okay, so ISACA stands for, we call ourselves a community of digital trust professionals, or a learning community. Okay. So because we believe learning is a continuous thing. You can't just say, oh, I've become so you can't. You must learn every day. And that's why it provides platform for people to continuously learn and look at events, things that are happening, emerging trends, and you know, all that. It also provides platform for, you know, building skills and developing skills such that they become industry solution providers, not just, you know, there. So yeah, a veritable tool for enabling people gain certifications to enable them practice and add value to the society.
Okay.
All right?
Thank you so much. Now, it shows that anyone involved in this can effectively make money to take care of himself and the things around him.
Certainly.
Yes, certainly. Let me tell you a story of why I joined ISACA. You know, you know, growing up, the fear is what course can I study so that I will get a job immediately. So after the university, we were looking, what next can I do? You know, somebody was like, once you have this certification, you're definitely going to get a job. You know, and I mean, young from school, I joined the association, started reading preparing for the exam, and I can boldly say that as a result of this, the career trajectory I've had was as a result of me, you know, getting most of those certification, because the truth of the matter is that it stands you out. Okay. You know, for an organization that's futuristic, they already see the future. They already know that a day will come when people will be living in technology. I mean, something that started 50, 60 years back, you know, that's when computer wasn't even common. It's just more like a storeroom. Exactly. They've already started planning ahead, you know. So I mean, to some extent, is a guarantee, you know, beyond that, it is also a good tool for you to develop and contribute to the society and create value to the society as
so
well.
much. So that means everyone is welcome.
Yeah.
Nobody can be said to be left behind or not able to make it, as far as that fellow is prepared. And if you're looking for what will help you make good money, don't forget ISACA. It's very important. You need to know more. You can always ask. You will get to know more. But they've shown you even you can go. H&H, help and help.
Helper.
Oh, helper
is the app you would download to sign up for our community day.
Okay.
You know, that is a way of us giving back to the society, and it's open to both members and non-members.
Okay, so now talking about the community day, it's important we just say a bit about
just 30 seconds.
Yes. So it's just in this year's community day, we're looking at exploring the rich tourism potentials of Nigeria. Let's project it. We are Nigerians and we have a lot of value in what we do. There are some tourism side, there are some good things. Nigeria is not just a dumping ground, it's a place where you can come and have fun. So we are out there to, you know, look at how we can engage, learn and act all mixed together in this exercise. And, you know, also looking at how digital tools are enablers for this in achieving tourism benefits. All right. So at the end of the day is a mix. You know, that we can just, you know, look at how we can get the best out of it.
Thank you so much. That shows us that with ISACA you can go to any field, be it the security field, be it in entertainment, be it in anywhere. You can always find medical and all these, even in engineering, legal. You will find ISACA there. So that's how we'll conclude today, saying special thanks to the president of the Abuja chapter of ISACA, Emmanuel Omoke.
Thank you for having us.
And not forgetting the membership director, Stephen Alaekwe.
Thank you so much for having
Thank you
us.
for coming.
Thank
I would also want to mention that Joseph Tion is one of them who came along with them. But of course, we will all not be on the stage at a time like this. So we thank you, Joseph, for being part of what has happened today. And returning to this place, I want to thank Pamela Kayode. I also want to thank Ehani Ugoji, not forgetting to mention someone else that is also part of what we have done today, Gabriel Enojo. Thank you so much, all of you. And of course, I will give the largest share of the thanks to Divine Okechukwu. Thank you for everything. This is Okechukwu Onubogu. May the best, the very best, happen to us all. Amen.